Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about a miracle. It happened in Thailand in June 2018. It was a Saturday. The Wild Boars youth soccer team finished their practice. They were happy. It was one of the boys' birthday. Let's go to the cave, they said. The Tam Luang Cave is a famous tourist spot. It is beautiful. It has big chambers and stalactites. The 12 boys, aged 11 to 16, and their 25-year-old coach, Ekapol, parked their bikes outside. They left their shoes and backpacks at the entrance. They only brought flashlights and a few snacks. They planned to stay for only 1 hour. But nature had other plans. While they were deep inside, the sky turned dark. The monsoon rain started early that year. It poured down. Millions of liters of water flooded into the cave. When the boys tried to leave, the path was blocked by water. The water was rising fast. It was like a tsunami inside the cave. They had to run deeper and deeper to find high ground. Eventually, they found a small sandy slope 4 kilometers from the entrance. They were trapped in total darkness. They had no food. They had no warm clothes. And the water kept rising. Outside, parents were worried. Where are our children? They found the bikes and shoes at the cave entrance. They screamed. They cried. The Thai Navy SEALs arrived. They are the best soldiers in Thailand. But cave diving is different from ocean diving. The water was muddy. It was like coffee. You couldn't see anything. The current was too strong. Even the SEALs couldn't get through. Thailand asked for international help. 2 middle-aged men from England arrived. Rick Stanton and John Valanthan. They looked like regular uncles, but they were the best cave divers in the world. For 9 days, nobody knew if the boys were alive. On July 2nd, Rick and John were diving. They were laying guidelines. They surfaced in a small air pocket. Suddenly, they smelled something. It wasn't the smell of death. It was the smell of humans. They shone their flashlights, and there they were. 13 skinny, pale figures huddled together on a rock. How many of you? John asked. 13, the boys answered. Brilliant, John said. The video of this moment went around the world. Everyone cheered. They are alive! But the divers knew the truth. Finding them was the easy part. Getting them out was impossible. The boys were found, but they were stuck. To get out, you had to dive for 6 hours through narrow, flooded tunnels. Some tunnels were so narrow you had to take off your oxygen tank to squeeze through. The water was cold and dark. Even expert divers found it difficult. How could weak, starving children who didn't know how to swim do this? If they panicked underwater, they would die, and they would kill the diver rescuing them. The rescuers discussed other options. Option 1. Drill a hole from the top of the mountain. Too thick rock. Option 2. Wait until the rainy season ends. That would take 4 months. But they couldn't wait. Oxygen levels in the cave were dropping, and the weather forecast said a massive storm was coming in 3 days. If it rained again, the cave would flood completely. The boys would drown. Then a tragedy happened. Saman Gunan, a former Thai Navy SEAL, volunteered to deliver oxygen tanks to the boys. On his way back, he ran out of air. He lost consciousness and died in the water. His death shocked everyone. If a trained Navy SEAL died in this cave, how can a 12-year-old boy survive? The mood was dark. Hope was fading. The rescue team realized there was only one way. It was a crazy idea. It was illegal. It was unethical. They had to sedate the boys. They had to put them to sleep with anesthesia, like in a surgery. Then, the divers would carry the sleeping boys underwater like packages. They called Dr. Richard Harris from Australia. He was an anesthetist and a cave diver. "Harry, we need you to knock them out," they said. Dr. Harris said, "No, that is madness. If their mask leaks, they drown. If they wake up, they panic and drown." He thought there was a 0% chance of success, but there was no other choice. It was either try this or let them die. He agreed to do it. He asked for diplomatic immunity. If the boys died, he didn't want to go to jail. The Thai government agreed. The parents signed the consent forms. They didn't tell the parents the boys would be unconscious. They just said medicine to relax. On July 8th, the operation began. 13 foreign divers and 5 Thai Navy SEALs went in. Dr. Harris gave the first boy a shot of ketamine and Xanax. The boy fell asleep. They put a full-face oxygen mask on him. They tied his hands behind his back so he wouldn't pull the mask off. The diver grabbed the handle on the boy's back and started to swim. It was a relay race. Each boy was passed from one diver to another. At dry chambers, they checked the boy's breathing. If he started to wake up, Dr. Harris gave him another shot. It was terrifying. The divers couldn't see. They bumped into rocks, but they held onto the boys' precious lives. One by one, the boys came out. First day, 4 boys. Second day, 4 boys. On the third day, the final 5 people, 4 boys, and the coach had to come out. The rain was pouring down outside. Everyone was exhausted. Finally, the last boy and the coach were brought out safely. Dr. Harris and the divers were the last to leave. Just as the last diver got out, the main water pump broke. Boom! The pump stopped working. Water rushed into the cave instantly. If they had been 10 minutes later, everyone would have died. It was truly a miracle. All 13 were safe. The coach, Ekapol, was praised. He gave his food to the boys. He taught them meditation to stay calm and save oxygen. He was the reason they survived the first 9 days. The world celebrated. It showed us that when people from different countries work together, UK, Australia, Thailand, USA, China, we can do impossible things. We can snatch life from the jaws of death. Thank you for listening to this incredible story. The Tam Luang Cave is now a museum, but the memory of those 18 days will live forever. See you in the next episode.